So I recently had the itch to make a game, and I found this really good asset pack by VNBP Leo. It's called Low Poly Home Set, and it's got all these low poly kind of home assets. It's got modular tile setup so that you can put together a house super easily in any fashion you want, and all the furniture and appliances you could ever want. And they've also got a few other asset packs that can fill out the other sections of the house if you have specific areas you want to fill out. And so I saw this pack and I thought, I love this. I want to make a game with it. And I booted up. I have Godot 4 Beta 6 Mono. I'm importing the advanced import settings for it. It's a GLB file. One of the things that you can do now in Godot 4 is to click on an object. You can see we have a nice icon here, and you can hit save to file. And what that does is it'll save the mesh out to its own separate file, and then you can use that however you like. Now, normally, that's what I would do. If I wanted to use a lot of meshes that are in one file, I would do that. But the problem is, there's a lot of these. I think there's almost 800, maybe a little more than 800 of these. At least that's what the numbering suggests. That's a lot of work. I don't want to do that. And so I went to my favorite thing, which is called tooling, where I made a small plugin. You can see it's just one script file. It's adding, let me make this bigger. It's adding a menu item, extract asset pack. And now in the new GD script, we can just reference the method itself as a callable. And so we have this function that'll extract the asset pack. And I have some properties for what it should do. And so if I make a temp folder here, temp, we'll move that there. So now I can go, because this plugin is currently enabled, in the project under tools, it has my extract asset pack menu item. And when I click it, it'll perform this method here. And it freezes for just a second. Then you can see we have a folder named asset pack, and it has all of these different objects. And so you can see we have the bathtub, you see the table, got a book. If we turn on the sun, that's a little easier to see. And so all of these got extracted. They have their names, their scene files. Super great. So you do need to keep the original source file in, but all of these are just referencing information in that source file. And so every individual object here with its name as is assigned is being spit out. And it's just the mesh in there. You can go in and make a tri-mesh, or you can make navigation mesh. In here, when you're importing, you could go in and generate the physics and generate the nav mesh and occluder. Totally, you could do that for the specific objects. I might even, for my own uses, have a little dialog that pops up and you can change some settings before importing it all. But I just wanted to show that off because this would have taken a ton of work if I didn't know how to make a little tool script. I specifically made it as a plugin because then it's right in my project tools and it's super easy to use. I love that. I love doing this kind of thing. And I think that tooling is a really useful tool in your tool belt to be able to make and finish games. Because if you have to do this same process every time you want to use an asset pack, let's say you want to use 5 different asset packs. Well, doing just one by hand could take hours, all day, who knows? Just maybe 10 minutes or so is how long it took to make this file. And I only had to take that 10 minutes because I had to learn how to do file accessing in the new GD script because they changed a few things around. So I had to check the documentation and learn how that works for the new GD script. But once I learned what I needed to learn, this was really easy to make. It's not complicated, and I believe everyone who uses Godot at maybe even a novice level, I would say an intermediate level, should learn how to do some basic tooling. It'll save you a ton of time in the long run. As you can see, you could, if you're on a team, the programmer can make this, all these different tools, add it to the menu, use these tools, and do whatever they need to do. Like, hand this off to your level designer. Well, now they have that file, they have all of their individual models, and they can just piece it together however they like.